there's some steps and tools you can take to get to your own answer, because it is important to live a meaningful life. And from what I'm hearing from you, Zair, I think you've come to that, but in you wanting to live intentionally about experiencing life and not letting it pass by you, you've come to that realization.
Who we are, we're not just one thing. So when we are assigning meaning only through the lens of our careers, right? Then we're setting ourselves to suffering.
Right. And to me, that is the meaning of having a meaningful life.
It's the exploration.
It's you understanding the whys, you understanding the meaning of doing everything you're doing.
That's fantastic.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Like we can live our life as a routine, and it would be the same life, practically, as opposed to somebody who's living a meaningful life. What makes the difference, in my opinion, is the meaning that you are assigning to every single thing you're doing, or every single thing you're surrounding yourself with, or every single person you're surrounding yourself with.
Welcome back to Coffee, Matcha, and Soul. This is our final episode this season. We've had an amazing season. And of course, Guillermo, Zair, we're all back together again. It's been a little while, so it's nice to be in the same room like this.
Same room, same people, same room.
But
different coffee, different coffee matcha. Go for it.
Coming onto the dark side now with the matcha.
You won.
The green side. You've come to the green side.
Yeah. Well, let's see if I can survive this.
I think you're starting to like matcha. I think you're starting to. It's okay.
Yes, not really.
I like it.
It's okay. It's not my best brew.
I'll put some sugar on that. I will put some sugar on that.
I need sugar.
And that you like the sacrilege.
I know. I know.
I get it. Milk, sugar, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Whatever gets you to drink matcha, I'm happy.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, cool. So today for our episode, we just want to talk something like big picture. And I think we could relate to this topic, this idea of what makes life meaningful for us, or what's the best way to live life. We'll keep it very open and broad, and we can maybe narrow it in on our own personal views on it, or what we've read or whatever. So,
I mean, look, the reality is that out of all the conversations that we have had with the phenomenal guests that we have had in the show, right? Not just on season 2, but season 1 as well. It's just one of the things that I take away, one of the lessons that I've had is learning how to give meaning to life, or how to identify. I don't even know if you can give meaning to life. It's maybe more of a discovery kind of thing. That's actually a really good question. Do you guys think that we assign the meaning to certain things in life, or it's more like we discover what's meaningful to us?
Well, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a tough question, but I want to bring a word that I think it's becoming. It's my word of the year. I don't know if you do this practice of choosing a word for the year, and that's kind of drive your
intent for the year.
Yeah. So I think my word this year is intention, or intentional. And I think it's really tied to the concept of a meaningful life. Because do we assign, yes, because we assign meaning to everything, to our relationships, to the way we interpret the world is through assigning meaning to things that happen, right? Whether is that something fixed? Absolutely not. That changes all the time.
Right.
And I think for me, being intentional, which is kind of my intention of the year, just even if it's redundant, it has to do with that, with living with intention every single thing that I'm doing,
Right.
and assigning the intention of, being happy, being, uh, you know, being intentional about how important and how blessed I am to live this life the way I'm living it, and the way it is unfolding, and what am I doing with that. And just like as Peter said, right? So it's this canvas that we are like coloring, and that we are like the art that we are creating. That's our life,
Right.
right? It's a white canvas that we are constantly, painting, and then just covering it and starting again and reshaping, and like. But what I want to add to that is that like to me, I just wanna walk all that way, all that life, live that journey with intention.
Right.
And so, because that brings me to the things that makes me happy.
Right.
Like if I'm intentional about preserving my personal relationships, then I am gonna try to really set up the time to meet that friend that I haven't met, or that
Right.
sometimes we obliviously, like, not don't take care of, because we're
Right.
busy, because life passes by. So it's like, to me, it's just making sure that life is not passing by, but that I'm an active player in the whole thing.
Mm.
So
So it sounds like from your right, because your question about are we bringing meaning to this question of what makes life meaningful for ourselves, or is there were you asking, like, is there meaning to life that we need to get at, or is it that we're bringing our own meaning to the question, right? And kind of, since we just recently had Dr. Peter Lynn, and he talked about like everyone's journey as an artist in this life, and they're trying to, it's really up to each of us to find our own path of meaning in this world. Although he was talking about in relation to self, but still, I think for the purpose of this conversation, though, I do want to get at like some, let's walk away with like some real physical, actionable
yeah.
meanings,
Yeah.
right? Because like there's a reason this is so important in everyone's like life, that you at some point you have to think about this. There's a reason it's important to get to an answer, even though there's no right answer. Maybe there's some steps and tools you can take to get to your own answer, because it is important to live a meaningful life. And from what I'm hearing from you, Zair, I think you've come to that, but in you wanting to live intentionally about experiencing life and not letting it pass by you, you've come to that realization because of the things you face. And right, I imagine, because we know each other pretty well, because I know this was part of me. I think, years back, I would say a meaningful life is one where I'm fully doing the work I'm doing, right? So as a filmmaker, as an artist, like that to me felt very meaningful at some point in time. But I think you're broadening it to say that what's meaningful is, well, the few things I took away was like spending time with friends, or maybe learning something new, or right, like
Yeah,
maybe one of those
everything,
things.
like everything, because, and this ties to what we discussed in the previous episode, right? But who we are, we're not just one thing. So, and when we are assigning meaning only through the lens of our careers, right? Then we're setting ourselves to suffering,
Setting
right?
up, yeah.
Whereas when you like open like the lens, right?
Yeah.
As he was teaching us,
Yeah.
Peter was teaching us in the
Yes.
previous episode, then yeah, you're able to see, because we're not just one thing. And
Yeah.
I think we have, especially artists, I think we, and well, no, I think everybody struggles with that, with, you identify as the career that you
Yes.
do.
Yes.
And if you're successful in that career, that means you're a success. If not, you're a failure.
Right.
And, switching gears sometimes becomes like unacceptable.
Right.
Like,
Right.
but that's just something that your mind is making up, right? Because we have this preconception that you feel that you're a failure if you like switch gears. And whereas sometimes it's just like, no, it's just like, I enjoy this, but I also enjoy this.
Right.
I can switch gears or not. I can do this and this and that. And a lot of things make me happy.
Right.
Right? Because we're all like, I love a lot of things make me happy, not just, my work, right? And then, so how do, the more intentional I live every aspect of myself, right? Of my persona, the happier I'm going to be in the long term. That's what I'm coming to realize. And of course, I'm placing more, or I think it's my intention, because this is, it's not that I figured it out. It's just, it's my intention. I intend to be intentional on mostly, or more importantly, my personal relationships, the human connections, like family, friends, people, neighbors, like, because at the end of the day, that's real connection, is that, no, it's more the human side of things and the materialistic side of things, or that being fulfilled because you nailed an audition, or because you booked a movie, or because that's temporary. That only lasts 2 months, right? While you're doing that project.
So would you say it's fair to say that for you, what makes for meaningful, joyful life has shifted into understanding that the things that really matter for you now are relationships, the experiences, putting yourself intentionally in everything you do?
It's the word that I'm trying to do.
That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
To me, what has made a big difference is understanding that you assign the meanings. So, and to me, that is the meaning of having a meaningful life.
It's the exploration.
It's you understanding the whys, you understanding the meaning of doing everything you're doing.
That's fantastic.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh no, it makes a lot of sense.
Like we can live our life as a routine, and it would be the same life, practically, as opposed to somebody who's living a meaningful life. What makes the difference, in my opinion, is the meaning that you are assigning to every single thing you're doing, or every single thing you're surrounding yourself with, or every single person you're surrounding yourself with. And that applies to everything, including career. I feel that including the idea of success. What is the idea? What is the meaning of that word?
Right.
Is it the meaning that they have been telling you and selling you for years? Or is the meaning that you assign to that you're assigning to that world, to that word? So it's the same thing, with friendship. It's the same thing with relationships. It's the same thing with work. You're doing it because you want to get the accolades out there, because you want to get famous, or you're doing it because that's your life.
Or you love it.
You're doing it because you love it. You're doing it because it's your way of expressing yourself, because it brings joy, because, so reconnecting with those meanings, or not even reconnecting, but really assigning those meanings to every single,
or understanding is what you're
understanding. Yeah, but I don't even know if you have to understand. Maybe, once again, I know I'm very influenced from my work as an actor as well, because as an actor, what in my opinion, what you do is you resignify everything on a scene. You can read the scene and that's it. I mean, the scene is the three of us having coffee, matcha, and having a conversation. But if I resignify every single, or I give meaning to the matcha that I'm having, this matcha has a meaning. It has to do with my relationship with Saro. It has to do with the years that we have spent in doing this. It's a symbol. It signifies work and passion for something. It signifies many, many nights that we have spent together as friends. It signifies friendship. I'm endowing this matcha with all those meanings. And that's what you do, or at least what I do as an actor on a scene.
Yeah.
That's my work as an actor. I need to give meaning to every single thing, and then you just allow yourself to be affected by that, right?
Yeah.
That changes the whole approach that you can have to.
But I think we
a scene.
all give meaning to everything in life. It's just the thing is to have a meaningful life. You have to give the right meaning to certain things.
Yes, but I'm also wondering if most times we just perceive life with the meaning that we have been taught. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you coming up to that realization.
That's what I took away from what you were saying when I said like understanding, because you said what makes life meaningful is understanding why you deem these things meaningful, right? And so as we're young adults talking about like early career, right? You're taught very much because of Western society that you are your career, that success looks this way, right? It means having this many houses and this many cars, no matter how realistic or unrealistic that is, right? So that's success defined by Western capitalistic society, right?
Yeah.
So, and you're taught that, you're seeing it in the media, you ingest it. But what you're saying is that you want to get to a place where you know why what success is supposed to look like for you.
Yeah.
Or why, acting is meaningful to you, or right? Is that a fair, like?
It is. But ultimately, I believe that it also gives you a vantage point in terms of creating your own language of meanings. And I that's how I understand living a meaningful life. That's my understanding of living a meaningful life, because it's like creating a language that you can play with, because it has a meaning for you and to you.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
It's not just the meaning that words, even like let's take the meaning of the word
Meaningful.
meaning, right? I mean, even the vocabularies are constantly going to evolve, and nothing is fixed. So constantly the language keeps evolving. The meaning of a word like Alexa 10 years ago had a different connotation than it does nowadays. The context changed. This historical changes, this and that, and we keep evolving with that, right? But again, it's all been given to us, including the language, right? It was given to us.
Yeah, it was given to us. Sure, these things are meaningful. Work, life, marriage, family,
everything,
all these basics, right?
Everything has been given to you. When you start questioning everything, throughout curiosity, throughout, just the marvelous discovery of existential life, and you start seeing that everything has a different color for you,
right?
That's, in my opinion, when you discover the meaning of things. That's when you're not just like living life. What does it mean? What does that mean for you really to do what you do?
Okay.
What does that mean to have a conversation with a friend? What does it mean to go to the gym? Something as simple as that.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of that? What does it mean to have a good meal?
Yeah, no, I love that, because people should really be asking themselves those questions and understand why they find what they do valuable, worthwhile, meaningful, purposeful in their life, right?
Yeah.
But let's narrow it down a little bit. So for you right now, like, what would you say is living a meaningful life? What does that look like for you?
To me, I gotta tell you, I mean, I'm gonna get a little bit personal here, but
good.
Like,
I think that's good.
Actually, being quite honest with you, I feel that my life changed drastically in the last year, right? And it's so interesting because it really has to do also with us starting with coffee, matcha, and soul.
It's kind of weird.
And which is phenomenal because that's the meaning of it as well. When we started with this show, we didn't start it because we wanted to be famous or we wanted to be like the most successful podcast out there. We put it out there because that's who we are, because that's what we do every time we get together and we have coffee and matcha and we have a beautiful conversation and we believe it's interesting, and then we bring somebody else, a new friend, and we have another conversation. We keep growing and learning. That was the reason why we put this out there. So if we can treat all the people who are watching this, show as our friends in our house, having coffee, matcha, and soul, then it has a meaning. We're not just doing it because we want to, be on the television or whatever that is. So that being said, funny enough, my personal experience has been changing a lot over the course of the last year. I would say, and it really matches the progression of the show in a way, right? So,
and I think life in society as a whole, it's been a very weird year for
it has
everyone.
Been. It has been. It has been. But you were asking me about my personal experience. So what happened to me is at a certain point in time, I had to reset my whole understanding of what I call life or this experience. And I had to almost like start from zero. Like I had to start from really relearning the meaning of everything I do, questioning myself, everything, including why am I an actor? Why am I a filmmaker? Why am I doing this thing? Why am I working out? Why am I, why am I in New York now? Why am I here? Why am I here and during the winter? Like the simple things, but what is the meaning of that? And then when you start questioning certain things, you start finding answers that maybe you don't even have to make more complex into a final definition of something. But those answers are just for you, right? Experiential, like maybe the answer is just walking down the street and seeing somebody smiling at you, and finding that that's meaningful. Maybe is learning that today you had the opportunity to help somebody else, somebody that you maybe didn't even know, right? So, like, how is that clicking in your life? And then learning how to recognize that and how to create a language, I believe, or at least to me, has been a beautiful journey in the last year.
Wow, great. I know, but I'll say without giving any details or anything, but it was born out of some hard times. That you had to then basically confront the things you thought were meaningful for you and face those. And
for sure,
that's
for
cool.
sure.
Cool.
I also believe that it's a blessing having hard times.
Yeah.
It's a blessing having hard times.
I think so.
Because then you realize that you have to change and you have to evolve. Yeah. And you have to change the meaning as well.
You're going to grow one way or another from the hard times, and you can grow negatively too. But you can grow positively. There's a way to gracefully learn from it, be a better person. You're tested. I mean, that's where it comes from.
The conversation we were having with Dr. Peter is very meaningful in that regard, right? Because he was teaching us how to see things from a different perspective.
Absolutely.
Right? You can go through an event thinking that you're a failure. Or you can go through the same event thinking, wow, this is a school. This is a learning process. You can go through an event, the same event, thinking, this is a blessing. Now I know. Right?
Or you could you go through the event and be like, wow, I'm really doing great under hard things that are happening.
Exactly.
Great, right?
So it's the same event.
Yeah.
It's all perspective.
Absolutely.
It's all meaning.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
all meaning.
For sure.
So, and then it really makes you think, do we have agency in that meaning?
I think so.
See, I think that's the backup question, right? Or the question that should be underneath. Who provides that meaning? Like, how do you discover, or how do you transfer, those meanings?
So let me just say, I'm going to fix my answer.
Mhm.
I think you have agency in creating that meaning if you've done the work to get yourself to a place where you can step back, whether it's through Buddhism, meditation, whatever. You need to be able to, take the time to investigate meaning. You need to be able to step back, objectively observe the world, to be able to then say, oh, wait, I'm going to maybe assign this meaning to this event, or I'm going to.
But I'm not sure, because I don't know. I have met a couple of people that are right now over 80 years old.
Mm.
And is that people that you don't have an explanation why, but it's these people that even if they have gone through roughness, there's this, joy for life. And there's this like, we're moving forward and, whatever it takes. And it's this attitude. And it's people that are happier, right? And it's people that have not done the difficult questions, that are more illiterate in the sense that they didn't have the access or the means. They just had it in them, like naturally.
Oh, so you're saying that maybe it's inherent in some people.
I don't know. Well, once again, I mean, like, maybe something changed. Maybe they didn't do the yoga or the meditation or the whatever, but they have been doing life.
But I think in some people, I just think that you don't necessarily have to have the conscious rationalization of I'm going through this, therefore I'm going to do this way or that way. But it's just like
more natural. Maybe I think there could be some people who are naturally inclined to viewing the world.
Just as how people are more positive, or some people are more pessimistic, right?
Yeah. I think you're right.
It might be the case. I do believe that most people that I've met, for at least the experiences that I've had, at a certain point in time, something happened in their lives that made them look inside somehow. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to practice meditation, or that they need to have like a mindful, lifestyle.
Yeah.
It just to give you an example, my grandmother, who I'm fully in love with, right? I love her with all my heart. She's 97 now. I feel that she's enjoying life, even though she's fighting all the time with my mom sometimes and so on and whatever. And the other day I asked her, how is the fighting? It's still going? And she's like, of course it's still going. If we were not fighting, we were not having fun. And it's like, that gives you the meaning of things as well. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you that for the most part, she's having a blast. She's enjoying life. However, I remember 20 years ago, she was not that way.
So something changed, you're saying.
Something changed. And I will tell you exactly what changed. Because I remember the day my great-grandmother passed away, who, by the way, the memories that I have of my great-grandmother,
that's cool.
To me, she was pure love. She was the quintessential love in that house, right? And my grandma was loving. She was always a loving person, but she was a tough woman. She was a businesswoman. She was tough. She had several businesses going on and whatever. The moment my great grandmother passed away, and I was a kid, right? Something changed from one day to another.
Wow.
And my grandma became more loving, more, caring, more joyful.
Interesting.
And I never understood back then. Now everything makes sense. So yeah, going back to that experience, something changed.
Yeah.
And we were talking about hardships and we were talking about tough moments in life. I don't know why, brother, but
It seems
it
shaped.
seems like they sometimes seem to be necessary in life, so we can stop, look inside, question certain things, question even our procedures in life, our perspective in life,
Yeah.
and change certain things.
I think so. I think I'll just like back up Zair's point. I think for previous generations, let's say beyond the baby boomers, the silent generations,
Yeah.
they weren't thinking very internally
Yeah.
the way
Yeah.
they certainly weren't talking about thoughts and consciousness and
Yeah,
meaning in the way,
mindfulness and
right?
yeah.
I mean, previous generations didn't really, they weren't exposed to this that we're exposed to now. But also, I'm sure they must have had some sort of internal dialogue when that happened, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I feel that, as everything in life, I mean, societies keep evolving and we keep changing and becoming, and we're always going to be in the process of becoming something else because it's only natural. But
Yeah.
I feel that the human concerns or human preoccupations for certain aspects like spirituality or the insight, I feel that it has always been part of our nature. It's just like the way we explain certain things today is a little bit
Changes.
different. Maybe back in the day it was only through religion or only through the practice of certain,
Or it was whatever you were exposed to culturally within that
correct,
country and
within
culture,
that.
right?
Yeah,
So it
exactly. And
wasn't as more open.
it
Yeah.
wasn't as open, right? And
So what
then
about you? What's your
Oh,
definition of a
a
meaningful
meaningful
life?
life. I have to say I very much agree with your outlook on a meaningful life now, because I would say that it's also changed for me in the last year, and it was around the time we started doing coffee, matcha, and soul. Like it would many years ago it would be unheard of that I would even put myself on camera, right? There was a reason I was working behind camera all these years, because I don't like to open up and put myself out there. I mean, I'm not of the group. I'm not the one who's been on stage and an actor, and so something about this shift that I wanted to try in my life is like, all right. I guess the thought came to me like, I'm now entering my midlife, right? I'm now in the middle. Half my life's over and I have whatever's left ahead, right? So what am I going to do with the remaining time that I have here alive, conscious? I don't know. We've talked about the soul, where it goes. I don't know. I just want to know, what am I doing with what I have left that I know of that I'll be alive? And that's changed my whole perspective. And so it's opened me up to start trying different things, to put myself in situations where I would be uncomfortable, like this right now. I mean, I'm more comfortable now, but before I would have been very uncomfortable doing something like this. And I think when we were sitting down and talking about the show, and those moments that we've had together where we would sit out on your balcony or here over coffee, matcha, they were so meaningful to me, because I love the depth that we were getting at. We were really having these very intimate and deep conversations that you tend not to have. I don't really have them often with other friends and colleagues. I haven't experienced that often, but I've experienced that with you. And so those were meaningful to me. And so when we decided to do the show and try to put this out there and share it, because we have such a great experience, we're hoping we can share that experience with others and get others in the world thinking about some of the things we're thinking about. So that led me to say, okay, maybe meaning isn't just my career as a cinematographer. Maybe meaning is about the moments I'm having where I'm learning from someone else. Maybe that makes life really meaningful. And it really does feel rewarding. So that should be meaningful. And yeah, I think I think that's where my head is at in terms of what a meaningful life could look like. Like, what really brings me the joy that you were talking about, right? Is it the work that brings me the joy, or is it the learning that really brings me joy? Is it the connection? So I'm really trying to ask myself that, because I think part of figuring out what makes for a meaningful life is to figure out what makes you happy in life, right? Like, and if you could define what's meaningful, what gives you those rewards, what matters to you, not because of what society says, but because you're actually figuring out what matters to you, what really brings you joy, what really enriches your soul, even though I don't know about the soul, but whatever enriches you,
You heard
as a
him.
person.
You heard him. He was talking about enriching the soul. That's what he said. Yes.
Yeah, well, we talked about the soul and what I think about the soul, but you are enriching your personhood, right? And so those are the things I want to do. I want to enrich my personhood, and that's what makes it meaningful. So I would say right now it's learning something new, doing something different, trying something else as an artist. And then the other thing that also came out of Coffee, Matcha, and Soul, which we don't talk about this much, but look, we also wanted to do good in the world and community and society. We wanted to put good content out there, so we can. I don't want to say help people, but enrich other people's lives, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're bringing these guests, because we're learning from them, but hopefully our audiences are learning from the guests as well.
Yeah.
And so we want to enrich our audience's life. And so that, I think, is also meaningful. Is like, how can I give back to the world? I think that really feels meaningful to me now. I'm trying to figure that out.
Which is the compassion and kindness that Peter was
Dr.
talking
Lynn
about,
was talking
which is
about.
so true, right? And I really feel compelled to to be more empathic, right? To be somebody that shows more compassion, that somebody that shows more kindness.
Yeah.
And especially because, as you said, life passes by. Life passes by so fast, so fast,
so fast,
and
too fast.
we get caught up in stuff, and then we're not. I remember, like, this is a clear example of things that changed in my life. I remember 2 years ago, and for like 4 years, I wouldn't plan anything long term. Like, I wouldn't say, I'm going to meet my best friend in December, because I'm always like, I don't know, because I'm an artist, I'm a freelancer, and I don't know when I'm going to get booked. And then I don't know, I can tell you a day before, and I cannot plan. And then I've been living my life that way for all these years. And then 1 year ago, exactly in this same journey that you two are, I said, you know what? It's a great problem to have if I am double booked. If I'm booked for my vacation trip, and if I'm booked for a job that I really love. And either I tell my friend, I'll bring you with me to my book, or we'll rearrange, or I say to the project, no, or I can do it after this day, or whatever. Like, the worst, like the best scenario that I can have is that I'm losing a ticket, and I'm losing an Airbnb or a hotel accommodation.
It's a good problem.
Money,
You're right?
It's a good problem to have. And so then I started to say yes to things that were happening 3 months from now, like 6 months from now. And turns out most of the times I'm able to do them. So it was me like saying, no, I can't plan. And I created this idea in my mind, like, no, I cannot have an agenda. I cannot do this because I don't know, because you're not gonna, we're still freelancers, and we need to have that flexibility. I'm not gonna commit to something that I probably cannot, get out of. But I had this belief in my mind that I couldn't do that. And I wasn't doing it. And now I'm more intentional. Yes, you're coming in June for yes, I'm coming in June. I am, count me in.
Isn't that?
And then it's easier to say when you have a project, yes, I can do everything. My dates are free. It says for June 4th. right?
Yeah.
More often than not, you can do it.
It-
But that was a belief that I had. And I was living my life like waiting for like at the 100% disposal, disposal?
yeah.
No.
Disposal to the project.
To the imaginary project that
Yeah.
hasn't been on the table
Yeah.
yet. But I've been 100% committed to that.
Yeah.
And letting, fun things or things that could be meaningful
Pass
pass.
by. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Because you're talking about what not to keep referring to Dr. Lydon, but since he just about the story that you created for yourself. Isn't that interesting how you had created this story? But I understand because as a freelancer, we've all created that story.
Yeah.
We wouldn't commit. It's quite normal that you don't commit.
Yeah.
Well,
to things.
here's also the other side of that coin. I mean, I don't mean to crush what she's saying, but I've been in situations where I've been saying yes, 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 and then the day comes, and because I'm working on something, I can't be there, and it has cost me relationships. Because sometimes some people don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard. It has cost me relationships, friendships have been, vanishing.
But I think that's where intention plays an important role, because when you, first of all, you don't do it with everybody.
Yeah.
And when you do it, you intentionally explain the context.
Yeah.
And with love, you explain like, I'm 100% there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless something like this could happen. And sometimes it's like, I'm 100% there no matter what, no matter if freaking Al Pacino comes and tells me I'm deleting her movie. Like,
I'm still saying
what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes you have, and that's where living a meaningful life takes place, because there are things that are and have to be more important than your career. There are things or whatever that is.
But I agree with you. But I have a, and I understand where that's coming from. But we have been talking about career a lot. I don't think living a meaningful life has to do specifically with career.
I'm just citing these examples that come to my mind.
I would like to strip that away. Like, let's go down to the core of something, because we have been talking about being mindful. We have been talking to be in the present moment. How do we, and let's also share this with the audience. Like, how do we practice living a meaningful life in the day-to-day basis, in the daily basis?
In the day-to-day.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
Because that's, to me, that's where the cornerstone of everything resides. It's like, how do we bring things in the practical manner to the day-to-day basis? How can we be meaningful today in whatever we're doing today? Nothing against the things that we can book in 3 months or a year from now, but in the day-to-day basis, let me give you an example. I have had a couple of experiences, the last 2 weeks, and I've been sharing those with Zair, of people that I have had the opportunity, not being conscious about it and not being aware, to be there for them. And I didn't even know that it was so impactful for them.
Wow.
And that it created some sort of ripples, and it created meaning. And the last couple of days, just to share something with you, there's this guy who works in the gym where I go and work out. And one day he was really having a hard time, and I was there just to listen to him. That simple 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And I remember feeling bad, and I told Zair as well, because I wanted to be there a little bit longer to, to be there for him.
Yeah, to go.
But I had to go, right?
Yeah.
Because of life.
Yeah.
The other day, this beautiful guy, because, he really broke my heart. I'm boxing by myself. He comes into the boxing room with this thing wrapped on a paper bag. And he is like, can I interrupt you for a second? This is for you.
Oh.
And he brought this beautiful gift.
Oh, wow.
It was a body lotion.
Nice.
But it's not that, it's the meaning. I'm telling you this right now, and it's touching my heart.
Yeah.
This guy, he took the time.
Absolutely.
By the way, now he's doing way better, right? He's in a different place in life. And all I did was being there in the dressing room to listen to this guy. So, and I wasn't even aware of it. I wasn't even aware of the ripples of it.
But that's like the practical things, because that goes down to being present and in the moment and staying curious. If you do that, you will notice the person, you will like be kind, listen to the person, and these things will happen. Like for instance, to me, because it's like we have so many distractions. So I am trying to be conscious right now. Like this is a silly thing, you might call it, but it's something that I'm doing because I notice that I'm so absent when I'm walking on the streets. Because I am on the phone most of the times. Like everybody.
On the phone while walking.
Yeah, you're walking. I'm walking. I'm on the phone.
Typical New Yorker.
I can't do that.
Like everybody. Like come on, like everybody. Like in the like.
Saro drives.
So-
So he's driving around. He's not walking that much.
No,
he
Yeah.
walks a lot.
But I
Well,
don't.
yeah, no, I'm walking and
But
I'm
here in my
like
hand, like in daily basis,
everybody is walking with the phone. You know?
My God.
So I can take it down for a bit and then like blah, blah, or remember something and then whatever, right? So I am on my phone all the time as I'm walking, and so I am doing the exercise of not taking my phone
Good.
when I'm walking from the gym to
Good.
home and vice versa,
No,
like in
that's great.
general when I'm walking.
Mm-hmm.
And that simple act makes you be present in your environment,
But
and you
then
get to see. So I'm doing exercises that I've never, like things that I've never done. Like I'm walking now, I'm like, oh, there is a patisserie here in this corner. Okay, oh, that restaurant is a new one. Like this is the same street that I've been walking for
And your father's
years and years.
Yeah, but taking that example, let's take an extra layer. How do you assign meaning to that? Because one thing is to be present. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what about if on the top of that, you make those moments the moments to be with yourself? Just to give you an example. Then those walks have a meaning. They are meaningful now. There is not just the walk. It's not just the practice of be present. But this is the moment that I'm giving to myself to be here and now, to feel, and then it has a different meaning. So that's what I'm saying. I feel that living a meaningful life should be a practice for us.
A daily practice.
A daily practice, yeah.
So I think I understand, because usually when people talk about living a meaningful life, they're talking about it in broad strokes of things you do over the course of your lifetime, and the reason we were talking about career. But the reason we talk about career and how it relates to us as artists is because artists put a lot of meaning in being an artist, right?
Yes.
So that's why career. But society says, society says that meaning is career, meaning is success, right? That's what society teaches us. So in general, when people talk about living a meaningful life, they talk about this like broad stroke thing that you're applying throughout your life.
Yeah.
But you're saying, how do we live a meaningful life in the daily actions?
In the moment by moment.
In the moment by moment basis. How do we make that a practice? And how do we believe? I believe that it has impact in our lives, right? Like, because it, like, literally we're resignifying everything. Like everything has a different meaning. The walk, going to the park, working, hanging out with a friend, calling grandma has a different meaning. Calling my dad has a different meaning. Making this phone call to a friend or hanging out with friends.
There's intention in there. And that's why I love that word, because it's not calling because you have to call.
Yeah.
It's the intentionality of the call. What is it? Is it to connect with your grandmother, to connect with my mother, to give her some attention, and to really like get on the phone or the video call and just not doing anything else but paying attention to that person, because that we don't do that often either.
Yeah.
We're you and I are on the phone, and I'm on the same time on the computer or on the text message while I'm talking to you. Like we have lost the ability to give our fullest attention to things once at a time.
Yeah.
Because we're like in this society that we are multitasking. Like I'm on a Zoom call and like, well, we have to investigate how do we sell this potato, and I'm still right away as we're talking, I'm like, how to sell this potato. You know what I mean? It's advice that we have.
Well, it's so funny. I don't know about your experience, but that's not my experience. I could only literally do one thing at a time. So I'm literally like, I can't. But
no, I can do several things at a time. Okay. However, and this is actually coming from the practice of martial arts as well, and the practice of acting. I know for a fact that the only way I can actually get in the zone, if I want to get there, is if I block everything out and just do one thing at a time. Which is, think about it. I mean, if you live your life that way, if you're going out with a friend and you're saying, I'm here for you 1 hour.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing like lately, because my agendas have been very constricted lately. But sometimes I tell a friend, listen, I only have 1 hour to have coffee, but I'm going to be there for you. And that hour, I'm there.
That's great.
I'm not touching the phone. I'm fully there. I'm listening to you. I'm having, same thing with my family. If I'm calling my mom or whatever, or if I'm going to Mexico to visit my family, I'd rather go 4 or 5 days. I don't have more time, but those 4 or 5 days, I'm going to be there for them.
That's cool.
To enjoy it. So, and it feels more content in my opinion. Like, I don't know, like, and it has to do with the practice of being here and being and now, and we have been going back to the same thing. Like, we live a lifestyle that it has a tendency to distract us from the here and the now. It's so easy. Actually, all those tools from AI to social media, they are great. But they are designed to distract you, to keep your attention.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that. I don't know if you have seen on Instagram or social media this picture of everybody in a concert, right? Like a bunch of young people in the concert with their phones like this, and like an old lady with a phone, like just enjoying,
just watching,
watching
and everyone else is looking through the phone.
And everyone else is missing out on the moment because they are like with the selfie and the whole thing. And I think like I'm a victim of that. Like I
everybody is, but it's always great to realize what
Intention.
you're
Wear it and be intention. I want to tie. There's something. I think there's an overlap between your use of your word intention and your use of the word of assigning meaning. And I think it's actually you're kind of saying the same thing, because what you're saying, Zair, is that you're being intentional about defining what's meaningful to you. Essentially, which is essentially what you're saying.
Let me explain the way I see it.
Okay.
And again, the best way to explain this to me is through acting. Through acting, when I'm breaking down a scene, I'm working in two different things.
Yeah.
Actions, meaning objectives and actions, and I'm resignifying a stimuli.
Yeah.
Stimuli is everything.
Right.
The circumstances. Who is this person? How is this person meaningful to me? This house, the moment, the coffee word. Those are stimuli.
Yeah.
To me, that's meaningful. But I'm here because my intention is to convince him or convince her throughout the conversation.
Right.
So I don't know if I can explain, if that explains my point. To me, the stimuli that I find is what I call the meaningful life. The intention comes with the action. So, does that make sense?
So then are you saying that what's meaningful to you is the experience?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
It's the experience. The intention comes from you, from what you are putting into it. But when you strip away the intention, You know,
Okay, so
it's just that's a meaningful. When you really look and assign meaning to everything you have around you, without you even putting the intention. The intention comes again as a second layer,
mhm,
and then comes obstacles, and then comes like whatever, when you're breaking down the scene as an actor, you play with all those things.
yeah,
But to me, the first thing that I always do is find the meaning.
okay,
What is this? Whose house is this?
okay,
Why tea? Why this? Why are we sitting here? Who's this person? I put the
But
lights
what
because
makes you assign one meaning or the
yeah.
other?
Are you assigning?
imagination,
Okay,
imagination, just whatever works for me as an actor.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
it's because you have the intention that something works for you as an
no,
actor.
but again, intention, it's a verb. Like intention comes from a verb, from from an action being put out there, which is great. And I believe that we need to live in that life. We need to.
mhm,
We were talking about meditation,
mhm,
and we were also saying, like, yeah, you can be very mindful meditating, but if you don't go out there and live the life and do the actions,
Mhm.
there's nothing out there. We need intention.
Mhm.
I think that actions have to be driven by intentions. Otherwise they are superfluous. I mean, there's nothing there. It's
Mhm.
they are empty, right? But in my opinion, before the action, assign the meaning, realize what the meaning is, the why. Does that make sense? The why.
yeah.
Why do you want the why? Why are we experiencing this? Or I don't know if that makes
Right.
sense.
So the why. So then can you now say for yourself, okay, so in your daily life, what does living a meaningful life look like? Is it that simple act of asking yourself, why is this meaningful? Or is it assigning meaning to the things that you're experiencing? And so what is the meaning that you're assigning to your daily, like to life? What
I
is
th-
it?
I think is I don't think it's fixed. I think it
Okay.
changes constantly.
Okay.
I think it's more of a discovery that I find
Okay.
every day. When I wake up and I do my what I call my rituals. My things that I have to do every day, every morning. To be me,
Okay.
right? And I discover new things all the time.
Okay.
I discover new people all the time. I discover new meanings all the time. And then based on that, I redesign my intentions every day,
Mhm.
and my intentions, and this is not, and I had to work a lot on this because at a certain point in time, I believe that, having a desire was even something bad. But I think it's the greatest thing that can happen in life. Wanting things.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's
No, it's not bad.
beautiful. What do you want? What do you want to experience
Yeah.
now? What do
Yeah.
you want to live now?
It's
And then my intentions are also driven by that.
yeah.
Now I want to call my friends. Now I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Now I want to go out. Now I want to do a new project. Now I want to visit a new country, whatever that
But
is.
you're not holding on to them. You're allowing them to come. And what you're saying is that a meaningful life to you is the exploration of finding meaning in the life that you're experiencing. Is that a
And the
good
and
way?
the and,
In the
and the daily
daily
experience.
experience.
Mm.
And
Okay,
the
so that's
daily
how you define
experience.
meaning. Okay, cool. We've
Yeah.
got to a definition.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, and again, I don't know. That's my definition today, and that's the
Right.
definition that might work for me,
Yeah.
might be different for everyone,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, of
is the
course.
beauty
No,
of it.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you've come to
Yeah,
understand. That's
yeah.
very cool.
It
Very cool.
might be different for you 5 years from now.
Or 5 minutes from now, as we were
Mhm.
talking about, like, because we're changing all
Yeah.
the time.
And there was something else you said, Zaire, that I really liked was where it sounded like that you're in a place in life where you're saying yes to everything, right?
I'm trying to
Trying
say,
to.
yeah, to say more yes, because
Yeah.
listen, well, what I have realized, I mean, you have to say yes responsibly, right?
No,
But I have realized that most of the times I regret the
not so.
no's that
Yeah,
I said, but I never or almost never regret
I
the
agree.
yes I say. And again, I think we are in this like it's easier to say no because and like because of this, because of that, and then you're banning yourself from experiences that can expand yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I've come to that same place. I want to say yes to everything. Everything that scares me, yes.
Especially things that scares us, right?
Especially the
So I'm
things that
gonna give
scare
you
you.
I'm gonna give you a silly example. Like I decided to do a couple of like hip hop classes
Oh, that's so
that
cool. I
I've
didn't know.
never done in my life.
Very cool.
And I am ridiculous. Like
It's okay.
like I'm like the worst person in the room. And this is even like double painful because I consider myself somebody that can dance.
Yeah, I was going to say
that have rhythm.
Yeah.
That everything.
Yeah.
But I am like this is an all level class. It's not like that I'm in an no. This is an all level class, and there are people that are 70 years old, 65, whatever, every age. I feel like I'm the worst person. The work that I feel I'm doing is more on neuroplasticity and changing my brain.
Meaning,
like I get more exhausted because of all the attention that I have to pay in the class than the physical activity that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it feels frustrating sometimes. And then when the class finishes and I'm so frustrated, okay, this is the reason why I have to come back next Saturday. So, and I'm taking it like that.
Awesome.
I'm taking it as it's like an experiment for me, like a neuroplasticity game, because midlife, right? But yes, still we can, right? It's proven. It's proven, and I'm taking it as if it's complicated and difficult, it's worthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, and I'm also reminding myself that I'm also doing it to enjoy it, and that I cannot take it too serious, right? Because that's something that I've learned like lately. It's like, don't take yourself too serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's been a life changer too. It's like, no, it's not that serious. Like, no.
I'll have to join you, Zair, so you won't feel so bad when I'm the worst
on the hip hop.
Yeah, exactly. I'm bringing people. I'll have to audition first to see if you.
No, I'm worse. You don't even have to audition me. Trust me, I'll be worse.
But yeah, it comes along with trying the hard things, with new things that I would never thought I would be interested in. Like,
I think that definitely makes life meaningful.
Yeah. I mean, or at least fun. More fun.
Okay, so this has been great. So, final answer: each person, one or two, or whatever, just very short. What is a meaningful life to you? Maybe Zair, you want to start, or
go?
Yeah, I think I don't know how to say it. Like, this is everything that I already said, but I think the more intentional we are with our present moment and the decisions we make will make for a meaningful life.
Great.
Like simple, without too much. And just be open, because as we were discussing, that can change. But as long as we're in the search, as long as we're intentional about having a meaningful life, then we're getting closer to that.
It's great. Do you want to answer?
Yes, to me it has to do with it's related to appreciation, gratefulness, gratitude. It has to do with seeing what's beyond the superficial, the surface. If you see, like, last time I was in Mexico, seeing my dad making me coffee in the morning, for instance, seeing my mom waking up, seeing my grandmother waking up at 3:00 in the morning when I had to leave just to say goodbye. That's meaningful.
Yeah.
That's meaningful. This 97-year-old woman wakes up in the middle of the night at 3:00 to say goodbye and to give me a kiss and to give me her blessing. That to me is meaningful.
Meaning is more rewarding in the human connection.
Yeah.
Like your work becomes more rewarding when you're able to touch people and better the lives of people, right?
Right.
Like meaning, like the reward, because what brings us joy could be like a hit of dopamine, but that is not long lasting. But what is related to human connections,
Absolutely.
and that's why I like the importance and to put human connections first, is because that's real long lasting rewards and that's what matters.
And that's also the reason why I was like so moved by this guy giving me a gift.
That connection.
It's the meaning of that. Is knowing that this guy has been struggling with a lot of, and yet he took the time to go out there, put a couple of bucks out of his tight pocket right now to bring somebody to show appreciation. To bring something to somebody to show appreciation. And that to me has a tremendous meaning. And appreciating those meanings, and you can appreciate meaning as well in the nice weather of the day, right? In the smile of the neighbor, everything has meaning, but learning how to be there, how to appreciate, how to be open to receive, how to be grateful, how to practice all those things, to me, is an incredible discovery.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, meaningful. You touched him, right? And you connected.
And he touched me.
Right.
Because it was incredible.
What about you?
Yeah, I don't know that I have. I think your answers are so good. I don't know that I have more to add, because I love the fact that being present and the human connection. I think those are really the things that make life most meaningful.
Saro, you're like a moderator in this conversation, right? And he goes here, and then he goes there, and then he puts them together.
That's your cousin. If you have to give your cousin an advice to live a meaningful life.
The only thing I would add is this general idea that I've come to about what a meaningful life is for me, and that's that I'm going to live my life with the intention, with the intent though of growing and learning, and growing and learning to me feels really meaningful, because I don't know. For me, it's like, what is the point of life if it's not to learn new things, discover new things about yourself, about the world? And then the other part is that somehow you need to give back to life. It's not just about taking; it's really about finding a way to give back.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really it's becoming so aware to me how important that is. Because so much of our society is about take, but without giving back, it can't sustain itself endlessly. So we really need to, think about like our place as a citizen in a community, and how are we giving back to the world, the life, everyone. So, but it relates, right? It's touching the connections. And when I say giving back, it doesn't mean like, going and doing community service, although that's great. But whatever you can do in your life to somehow add something positive. I think that's the key. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, this was great, guys. Another very fun
season. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to another season.
We'll see you again soon. Yeah.
Cheers. This was great. What a wonderful season.
Matcha is not that bad.
It's not that bad, right? He's come to the green side.